It could have been so cute. Instead, she has a meltdown and she starts trying to assassinate people's character, and it sickened me. She's a weak person. She needs 2 books, 48 Laws of Power, Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership, and I wish her the best.
I would also recommend Jenny Slate's Little Weirds. I think she could find a lot of inspiration in the prose there.
And also, just it's nice to laugh once in a while. The 2 books I recommended, not funny at all. Jenny's very
Hey,
clever.
let me tell. I'll recommend something for Kelsey. Kelsey, it ain't gonna work out with this guy. Okay.
Zoloft.
What you need to do.
Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Bachelor podcast. My name's Dylan. I'm settled up next to my buddy, real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Patrick, the producer of the podcast, is over there behind the glass.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
You're not talking to us, right? You're just saying it to the audience?
I'm saying it to the audience.
Very confusing. You
Numbers
do it
are going up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Really excited about that. Really excited about the show tonight. We've got a freaking gangbuster of a show. We've obviously got 2 hours of Bachelor to recap. But we've also, we did a little pre-production, which is quite a rarity, and stumbled upon the 3 of us have got brand new segments that we're bringing to the table tonight.
Separately. 3 different segments.
Yeah.
Hey, can I go first with mine?
What you don't want to just get to it naturally in the show, or is yours right now?
Well, mine doesn't include being in the show. I want to pitch it right off the bat before we lose some listeners in the middle of the show or something. I don't know. So
I think we already did that, but anyways, go ahead.
I think this may make us lose listeners, but
Yeah,
I'll hear
that's why
them
I said
out.
I think we already did that.
This segment's been created because, we're a divisive podcast. Okay?
Divisive.
Yeah, that's what I meant. And anyway, a lot of new people coming under the tent, and they're very confused what they're hearing.
Welcome.
And then there are people that, they just love us. But what this new segment is for, it's geared for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, confused, and are really upset by what they're hearing.
Okay.
So I want them to have an outlet. So my new segment that I created is called Hater Emails. So this is what we're going to do.
I like this.
If you're listening to this podcast, listen to the whole thing. And then if you really hate us at the end of it, don't go on iTunes and then write some stupid review.
No, that hurts us.
I want you to spend some time. I don't care if it's you hate me, maybe you just hate Nick, and maybe you hate all 3 of us, everything that we said, everything that came out of our mouths. You put pen to paper, well, actually you just type it away on a computer, and you send it to Nick Davis at anotherpodcast.com. Is that right, Nick?
No.
Oh, man.
Shit. What is it, Nick?
What's the name of our podcast?
Another Bachelor podcast.
So put it together.
Oh, right. Nick Davis.
Oh, you're being condescending and gross right now.
Bit. Well, I wanted to point out to him why that was not right. Anotherpodcast.com?
I know, but
well, we're
yucky.
a network. We're a network, so I thought
we
it was
are a
another
network.
podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway,
CBS, ABC.
So you got it. You got it now. Neither here nor there.
APN.
Nick Davis at anotherBachelorPodcast.com. Write how much you hate us, and we'll read them each week at the top of the show.
I love your commitment to negative energy. Do you want to go ahead and talk about yours, or do we want to weave it into the tapestry this evening?
My new segment I'd like to weave into the tapestry.
Right.
But let's not forget, last week we unveiled a new segment.
How was that?
Nick's Fire Tweets.
Oh, no. I thought we were being so sarcastic about that.
Well, I wasn't sure, so I brought one anyways.
Okay, let's get to it. I mean, we're here,
Here we go. January 13th, Nick tweeted.
Okay.
That's me. People are against transphobia and fat shaming, but for some reason you can talk all the shit you want about trans fats.
Oh.
We've got a crazy show tonight.
It's fire. It's fire.
What? We'll talk off mic about whether or not we're going to do that ever again. I really enjoyed that. Hated the dance, and I have a feeling that you're going to be incapable of not attaching the 2. So I'm very concerned for that moving forward.
I will say I predicted you were going to yell at me for the tweet not being Bachelor related.
Oh.
Which was never specified last week.
Oh, no, I don't care about that. Okay. But let's do something. Let's get to The Bachelor, which is what we're here to talk about. We've got to start by jumping into our fan favorite segment right out of the gates, even though we've already done 2. It's general thoughts. Pat, why don't you go first?
All right.
Kidding. Nick, why don't you take it away?
Bastard.
Pack and go, because
Whoa.
Even though I outlined my notes,
Whoa.
I forgot to fill in the general thoughts section.
But you always do. All right. This has gone off the rails already. Pat, go first.
Okay. Now, as the listeners may know, maybe you guys know, I've been pretty jaded on this franchise for, I don't know, since we started doing a podcast about it. I pretty much hate every Bachelor and Bachelorette. All I do is shit all over them all season, and people are like, hey, Pat, why so negative?
Yep.
Well, because I hated the show. Let me tell you something, people. This may shock some of you. I am loving this season, and I love Peter as the Bachelor. This episode was awesome. The last episode was awesome. This is a great season. I'm really enjoying myself.
And how many knots?
22.
Okay. So, Nick, go next.
I agree with Pat, but I'm going to do it a little bit more succinctly.
Okay.
It's fire. It's fire.
Oh, that again.
76 knots. Great
76
season.
knots. Okay, I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, we've talked about it on our other Property Another Below Deck podcast. It is fun to be filled with hatred while watching reality television, and I am filled to the brim when I watch Hannah Ann be herself. So it's a fun. We've got Kelsey, we've got Champagne in the Face, we've got Hannah Brown the Beast. It's all a blast. I'm going to give it 80. No, we can't get there yet. I'm going to give it 79 knots. Hey, just really quickly, Pat, do you have any PSAs?
Dude, the audience probably falling asleep right now. Can we get to the fucking show? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But you public service announcements.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to keep this really brief. I got to get to iTunes reviews. I'm not going to do it this show. There's so many reviews that you guys have been giving us.
Thank you, guys.
No, good and bad.
Right.
Mostly I like to focus on the negative.
Yeah.
But anyway, next week I promise I'm going to read a bunch of your reviews. And for the ones that were written by horrible people, horrible people, you will get your comeuppance, all right, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, and then all the people that wrote nice things, you'll be featured as well. There's still time to get your reviews in. So you're going to do just an extravaganza with iTunes reviews.
I'm going to blow out the fucking doors. Now, can we get to the goddamn show?
Well, I know I don't usually do this, but I've got a little bit of a PSA tonight, and then we're going to get to the show. It's really, really quick. You know, a lot of people have been saying that Jennifer Lopez is getting snubbed for an Academy Award. You guys need to shut the fuck up, okay? Did you see Hustlers? Did you see it? So last we left off, Alabama Hannah, who Pat, I believe you called a fame whore last week, had returned for a second day in a row, further confusing our Bachelor, Peter Weber. Now, we're still in the piss-stoked streets of Hollywood and Vine, in the bowels of the Avalon, where our former Bachelorette explains that she's not good at making decisions for her heart. Now, let me know if you guys agree with this statement. Hey, Hannah, kick rocks. You guys agree with that statement? This is so dumb. Pat.
Here's the hook. Get the fuck out of here, Hannah.
Wow, we did not do pre-production on him agreeing with me with Toot It and Boot It. That was really wild that he agreed in that manner.
I couldn't understand that. Now I get it. Toot it and boot it.
Kick rocks. Kick rocks, Hannah. Yeah, so you agree too.
Because I actually brought the song "These Boots Were Made for Walking," which you should listen to.
I brought the song "Leave, Get Out Right Now." It's the end of you and me. It's too late. I can't wait. Jojo. Okay, so I love the producers of this podcast. They're probably running around like they're dealing with the Cuban Missile Crisis. They just feel so self-important. They're like, should we call someone? Like, is this okay? Like,
that's what you call it when Peter can't get it up.
The Cuban Missile Crisis? That is
nice.
That's a fire tweet.
That was so fast. That was real time, people at home. I'm really proud of myself.
That was really, really good. He's vascular. He's very pumped up.
I brought this up last week. Hannah, at this point, does she really believe that she's going to convince this guy she made a mistake and that now he needs to leave his role as the Bachelor?
I get so nervous about this, but I have a hot take, and I know that's your guys' territory, but
don't be Victoria F about it. Own it. You have a hot take.
Okay,
bring it to the table.
All right. I think she knows what she's doing here. Now, before you guys say that's a lukewarm take, I have more. I'm just so nervous about this.
Well, we're being supportive.
She is trying to be there.
If you're so nervous, why are you wearing lingerie? I'm getting ahead of myself.
She is trying to be there at the end without having to be there at the end. You know what I mean? So she is wanting to cement herself as an option for him without having to compete or do any of this stuff. Because, I mean, by God, how long did they stare at one another in the eyes for? I mean, it was like 1:40 of intense staring. She has cemented herself. When this competition is over, he's going to think about her.
Dylan, I like that take. I'm not sure how Nick feels. I'm sure he'll share. I have to agree. Either they're great actors or they do have a bond. I can't stare at my wife in the eyes for more than 2 seconds. I get uncomfortable. The fact that these two are able to stare into each other's eyes.
Well, it's also psychotic behavior. I think both of our wives would be like, "Hey, why are you staring at me? Why are you staring at me?"
That's true.
Yeah.
But I do like the take that potentially, are you saying that Hannah might come in at the tail end?
I don't know if she's going to come in at the tail end, but when it's over, she'll have laid the groundwork for a return back into his life. Maybe it's off camera, maybe it's on, who knows. But I think that she's planting seeds.
Man, the more I think about it, I was like, oh, great hot take. I disagree, but great hot take. But the more and more I think about it, I love it. It makes so much sense.
Really?
Because she shows up.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, here, trying to fuck with his head.
Right.
And then he throws a curveball. He goes, why don't you compete? And she's like, oh, I actually have a flight to catch.
Yes. She has a flight to catch.
Our connection's still here, but I do have to get on this flight. But I don't know, around fantasy suite time, if you want to take me to Greece or something, maybe I'll pop back in. You know what she's trying to do? You ever play Super Mario 3?
Oh.
First level, you can like drop behind the white bricks, and then you can go behind the thing and get a flute, and you can literally just skip to the end. Wow. And like, or actually, another great example is in Super Mario World.
Okay.
If you go up to the left side, there's a way through Yoshi's little yellow thing, and you can literally just go to Bowser's castle.
Yes.
You can beat Super Mario World in 13 minutes flat.
Yeah, speedruns aren't fun with that game.
It gets a little silly. That's what she's trying to do. All right, so there's a bunch of people going, yeah!
So anyways, he's very distraught about this whole thing. I mean, he just doesn't know what to... You laughing at your own stuff? You laughing at your own stuff?
More the absurdity of what we do in general.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, Pete Weber's not of the PBA. I am, you are. Not that guy. This guy's very distraught about this whole thing. He's beside himself, and he calls off the group date, which is sad because I was looking forward to a packed Avalon, which used to host Tiger Heat nights on Thursday, which is a lot of fun.
I'm just imagining Mickey up in his high-rise office.
Yeah.
He was waiting to jerk off to all these young girls' sex stories, and Peter shut that down.
That's the only time the gloves come off. Okay, so...
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was going to mention, this is the first point at which Natasha starts... sounds like a fucking broken record the entire episode. I think, Hannah should probably pay rent in Natasha's head because she's in there, if you know what I mean. She's like, hey, this white bitch...
Oh, are you paraphrasing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was like, what's up with this hoe?
Oh, that's racist.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do. Hey, I have a clip to kind of just lay out the anger and aggression she had towards this entire situation. Pat?
It was really frustrating because we're trying to give this person a chance, but is he trying to give us a chance? And it didn't seem like it because you gonna cancel a date with these people. Yeah. The nerve. The nerve.
Can I ask you guys, what do you think about this strategy overall, to be furious?
Not a good idea. Well, this is one of those rules I've laid out throughout the various seasons we've had. Rule number 1. Don't make the Bachelor or Bachelorette feel bad about the decisions that they've made. Natasha's all the way up in his ass on this.
Yeah, she's up his ass. Can we get to the night date? Because she carries over and she's still upset. What's going on, Nick?
I have an answer to the question that you posed to both of us.
Oh,
and then
yes.
Pat answered it, and then you were gonna move on.
Right.
And I was chomping at the bit.
Champing
Champing at the bit.
Yeah.
I think if you're a real front runner, this is a good move. If Hannah Ann does this to him,
Yes.
this motherfucker is going to be groveling.
Yes.
I don't think Natasha, though.
Such a hot take. That's how it's done.
I still respect it because, like, this is fearless. I'm not going to change for you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what's wrong. I respect it, but I just don't think it's going to work for her.
No.
But I mean, if you're Maddie could do
Yes,
that.
Maddie and Hannah Ann can do this early. Well, let's continue talking, but I do need a night date from
Night
Pat.
date!
Okay, so Natasha's still fuming at the night date.
You got a lot of nerve bringing this bitch around.
Okay, still racist a little bit. Still a little racist. I will say, calm down. This is not your man, okay? You're on The Bachelor at 31 trying to find a husband, which means you failed a lot of times at stuff.
Is she 31?
I think she's older, yeah. I think she's 31. But she just feels like, I don't know, it's just like, what do you think this is? Do you think that you're in a relationship with somebody? You're on a fucking reality television show.
Well, and also, omit everything else, this idea of this game or something. Guys hate hearing women bitch.
Thanks, Pat. Okay. Yeah.
I don't love it. I don't love it.
What was that email again?
Nick Davis at anotherbachelorpodcast.com.
All right, let's get to Sydney. Who
We need a more general one. I'm sorry. I made it my name. It's
We'll
$6 a month.
We'll figure it out. Right.
That's what your Patreon money's going to.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about Sydney. I do know that she has a dumb cadence, very dumb cadence, but I don't know if she's dumb because she plays him like a fiddle.
It's just like I left so much to be here. Like I left a lot back home, like my mom and my family.
And so, remind me, where are you from?
Alabama.
That's right, you're from Alabama, but you're not a typical
Southern girl.
And then why don't you consider yourself such a Southern girl?
Just because I grew up in like a very Southern town.
Dumb cadence, maybe dumb words too.
She's on the roof right now.
Hey,
Just fiddling.
Look. The one thing, I don't know if we didn't get to this clip, but maybe it was at the tail end of this. Did you catch how her backstory? She was racially profiled as being Dominican
Yeah, and white.
and white. Yeah,
I didn't listen to her talk.
Oh, you did?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I can't imagine what she may have thought was
Sorry.
racially profiling was dudes just leering at her on the count of she's extremely attractive.
To be honest, that's kind of plausible, but I will say she is from Alabama, so they treat race like underage drinking in Wisconsin. Not a drop.
Okay, so let's get to McKenna, who says, "Oh, this is my segment. This is my new segment. When contestants state the obvious." McKenna says that they would all like to get the first impression rose because it means that he wants to keep you around for another week and see where things go. Can we move on?
Okay.
So,
Still no Nick's fire tweets.
fuck you. McKenna and him have a hot little interaction here. Sexy dance moves and sexy kisses. Now, once again, we've got Pete slamming girls down on counters. Practice makes perfect. He's not quite there. Also, stop.
We've talked about
Stop picking girls up and slamming them down on things.
Pat has pointed out how he's got his moves with the ladies. He likes to take them to the Comedy Store, then take them a nice drive on Mulholland. Find a nice
memory.
Find a nice lookout. Dude, I've done it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pat.
And then Pat pulls off to the side of the road where the passenger door is hanging over the hill, the cliff.
He doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
But just like always sending, it's the implication.
Right. you're stuck.
But the point is, guys have moves.
Yeah.
And we saw it from Blake. What was his move, guys?
Cry.
That he did that, but he had the same move. We saw it all the time.
He touched their face?
He would dance and spin them.
Oh, that's right.
Fuck!
How did I not get that?
It would have gave more credence to what I'm saying had you remembered it, but he did that. And Peter's move is pick him up and set him on something. He did it with Hannah at the pool table last year, which I referenced Friends. Phoebe and Ross almost hooking up,
of
but he got it
course.
stuck in the pocket. She's like, that's not what a woman wants to hear.
Kelly last week, and then McKenna this week.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Kelly.
He picked him up, slammed her on the ground like
I knew there were 3.
on the ground on the bar. So Sydney gets the first impression rose, which, as aforementioned, means he wants to keep you around and see where things go. And, oh gosh, I've got another stating the obvious. We can't have 2, but McKenna's really good at these. After the first impression rose is given to Sydney, McKenna says, I'm going to keep going.
Maybe we could change the segment and you give out an award for the Captain Obvious Award. And
Okay,
tonight
I
it's
like
McKenna
that.
because she did it twice.
I love that. I love that. I don't know if I'll have the ammunition to do it every week, but, this week, McKenna's Captain Obvious. Let's get to the cocktail ceremony.
Cocktail party.
Thank you so much. I don't want to end up in E&O. So strange tactic from Peter, pretending that he forgot the name of the girl that he's talking to. That's the redhead with the convertible. Snooze Fest 2020. I don't remember.
Her name's Lexi.
Okay.
I thought it was a great move, to be honest, because,
Silly.
she had such a memorable entrance, and you could tell she was a little taken aback, but he pulls out that car. I mean, that sandbagging son of a bitch.
I still think the producers, he goes, all right, what do I got? All right, so here's a toy car.
Yeah.
That was the red one that drove up in the car. Right. So just feed me the lines. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
It's a long night. And they're like, all right, yeah. Put it in your pocket and, have some fun.
Sorry.
That's
Killer kid.
You mentioned earlier, I don't know if this guy's just a good actor because he was acting so affectionate with Hannah. He really seemed like he did not remember who that was.
Great
Yeah.
actor.
And then she mentions the red car, and he goes, "Oh, that's why I have this fucking thing in my pocket.
Right.
This was you."
Right.
So,
Hot take. God, you guys are so good. Okay, so let's move on to Kelsey, who has a fear of snakes and is likely insane. Not because of the snakes, that's a normal fear, but just because of the way she is.
Can I give a breakdown of my thoughts on Kelsey?
Absolutely.
Okay, she was not on my radar till tonight. She's an attractive blonde. I called her basic Orange County person. That's, for those of you not living in California, it's where Orange County, the show, if you watch The Real Housewives, basic blonde, fake extensions.
Rich housewives with a tremendous amount of prejudice, and they tithe, so they think that they're okay to be rude to people.
Exactly. That's a great job.
Sorry for interrupting.
just Orange County has been depicted plenty of times within television. I mean, of course, we had the OC, and then
Starring Colin Hanks and Jack Black.
No. See, this is my problem. I think those two are very. They're not. They don't serve the purpose of exploring the pocket of the OC that we're talking about right now. The OC it follows the lives of angsty teens who grow up privileged, with Ryan coming in from Chino and that mix-up that he gets into. And Orange County is about an overachiever who doesn't get into school. I mean, we're talking about Botoxed, Trump-supporting bitches.
that's Colin Hanks in that movie with Jack Black.
Yeah.
Oh man, it has one of my favorite. I've never laughed harder in a movie theater. Jack Black runs out after having sex with a librarian when they're breaking into the place where they had the bomb threat, and he comes out and they're questioning him because everything's on fire, and he goes, yeah, I don't know, the librarian. He's talking about the librarian he hooked up with. He's like, yeah, I don't know, she was crazy. She's like, I'm gonna burn this mother down, and I'm like, you better not. And they go, I thought it was an electrical fire, and he goes, oh, it was like 4th of July. Sparks everywhere. Jack Black is a hidden gem.
Now, could I ask, how loud did you laugh in the movie theater?
When I really laugh hard, I do this thing where I can't breathe.
Okay, good.
So sometimes it's not as abrupt or abrasive as what I'll do on this podcast. Another great line Jack Black had was in the movie with Tony Robbins. I'm the only one.
Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal.
Yeah.
And he meets that Hawaiian guy, and he the first thing he says to him, he goes, "Oh, I saw a Hawaiian guy try to play hockey at one time. It was funny as shit." and I just lost it.
Is this a new segment?
Jack Black lines?
Yeah, because I fucking hate it.
I'm sure the listeners will love it. So Kelsey apparently is from Iowa, or she got for her birthday a bottle of Dom, and somehow
Yeah, she brought it from Des
They're not
Moines.
mutually exclusive.
she must have driven this bottle to California where they filmed this show for this special occasion.
Or checked a bag.
Can you bring bottle of champagne in a bag? I don't
Well,
think you can. I am in the alcohol business. I'm pretty confident that you can't, or I would.
You're not in the alcohol business. You are an Uber driver.
Right.
So let's not, come on, Pat. This is the problem with pathologically lying. You can't keep track of everything.
Making bathtub gin doesn't count.
I'm sorry.
No, of course you can check booze, but you wouldn't want to bring anything too carbonated, because if you're getting up 25,000 feet, it's going to explode.
I was just going to say, if she checked it in her bag, she should have been more prepared to drink foamy champagne. Getting ahead of myself.
Getting ahead of yourself.
All right, so guys, sorry for the wild tangent. Anyway, what I wanted to say is
Well, we went on the tangent, so you have nothing to apologize for. But
the spark.
And I enjoyed it, so I don't think anybody has anything to apologize for.
I think we might.
The spark for this entire episode, which I think was the lead story or storyline throughout this entire episode.
Oh, yeah.
Was Champagne Gate.
Yep.
So she's from Idaho or Iowa, something like that. Someone gave her a bottle of Dom, which I think is about $1.50 a bottle, something like that. I didn't get my eyes on the
Could
bottle.
be
at all.
more depending on the vintage, but
All right,
yeah.
But someone gave it to her for her birthday, and somehow she's driven this bottle, because she can't get it on a plane, because bottles will explode on a plane,
Yep.
to this location in California for a special night with Peter, and she wants to set this up.
Okay.
I think that's pretty psychopathic. Like some guy's going to think this is special.
Well,
Like a guy's going to look at a bottle like, wait a minute, someone gave this to you for your birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm so special to you that you didn't drink it on your birthday, and then you drove it over here and you set it up, and now you're going to share this with me tonight? Oh, wow,
Right.
I feel so special.
well, yeah. It's just not. It's a single if you connect with the ball. It's not blowing anybody away. But I will say.
Yeah, figure it out, Ichiro.
But yeah, I mean, it's just going to dribble past second base. And this is the thing. You brought a bottle of champagne. It's Dom. It's nice champagne. But you set it down 100 feet away from a fucking open bar. So it can't be that special.
And all I'm hearing from this is you're a fucking loser. You didn't have. I'm sorry, but you didn't have one event to re-gift this bottle of Dom, like a special occasion, somebody in your life. I guess when your neighbors are 150 miles away in
Yeah.
Idaho.
Right.
I think it was Iowa.
Do you want to talk about why your wife hates me, or should we shelve that champagne story for another time?
Well, I want to talk about it in this episode. I don't know if now's the time.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. It's a little tease.
Both of you brought it separately.
Okay, so now let's get to the real guts. The real guts of the evening. But before we do...
Do you have it?
I'm so
Guts.
sorry. Do we want to talk about Madison before we get to the do you have it guts?
All right, she's wearing horrible earrings.
Madison.
Yes, she looks like she's going to the Golden Globes or something, but she's just on a... They're too
Do people
pronounced.
usually wear tacky earrings to that ceremony?
I don't know. I think they want to make a statement with a bunch of stuff.
And it is a time where you can have be a little bit more adventurous because
Yes.
it's not quite as formal as the Oscars.
Yeah.
It's really more of a time to relax and get ready for this tense time in Hollywood that is award season.
Yeah, the HFP really does a good job of just kind of lightening everybody up a little bit. And then comes Renee Zellweger, who's got a bone to pick with everybody,
So this is something I hate about this show a little bit.
Okay.
Which is that Peter gives Madison a gift.
Yep.
And this is wildly inappropriate.
Quite a gift.
It's a picture of his parents re-giving their vows, and then the photo at their wedding day with Madison in it. Look,
Yeah.
I've been to plenty of weddings as a date with a girl that I slept with that night that I never saw again, that she invited me just because she needed a guy sitting next to her.
Had a
And
feeling that's
I
where
am
that
in
was gonna go.
a billion wedding photos. And I'm sure people are like, who the fuck is this guy in our wedding photos?
Yeah, does he dye his hair?
That's me.
But yes, you're right. This is so much. This is so much so soon. He tells her that he feels like they've been dating for a year, which is a ton, and then gives her a framed picture of her, him, and his parents on said day.
I just want to give you a little gift. It doesn't really mean a ton. It's just an engagement ring from Neil Lane that I wrapped up. Like, oh, is she going to hometown? Is she going to hometown?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we'll see. The
spoiler alert, Peter.
Yeah, the virgin thing could be problematic. Was I not supposed to step on that?
Oh, no, that's cool. This is what happens in pre-production. We kind of talk about our things, but I'm glad you introduced it. I forgot it. Last week, I introduced the hot take that she said she wasn't going to get married because she wanted to move slower than the rest of the girls.
Which I thought was a fucking awesome hot take.
I recant. I thought it was pretty fire too.
Yeah.
That's kind of my brand.
It was
season.
dead wrong, unfortunately.
Yeah, we hear all these whispers about a virgin being on the season. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive that was a cryptic message. How I'm gonna go at my own pace, and you're not fucking me 4 times. Actually, you're not even gonna fuck me once until we get married.
How you like that? How you like that, Pete Weber? Out of the PBA. Okay, so let's get to the guts now, huh? Oh, no, really quickly, I want to talk about the rapping. He didn't rap that.
You don't think he wrapped it?
He didn't rap that, did he?
Why are you asking?
Because he lied to her.
If he did rap it, no man should be that good at rapping. I don't want to sound like no man should be that good at rapping. It's concerning.
I've actually always been, and this is going to come as a shock to you. I'm not crafty. I'm not handy. I'm sloppy with most of the things I do.
Yeah, you can lay an edge.
If it's a regular rectangle box, if we're talking anything that is a parallelogram, I can wrap that really well.
Well, I don't think that you could wrap a rhombus that well.
Oh, I could wrap a rhombus.
I don't think you could.
Oh.
The wrapping here's too good. It's too ornate. It looks like you went to the gift wrapping section in a Bloomies or something. And I don't think he wrapped it, which I think they were just kidding around, and I'm going to move on because this is not important. Okay, so let's get to the guts of it.
Oh, yes.
Do you have it?
Let's just say Kelsey does not have a good night tonight. Pat, why don't you set the stage?
Okay. So Kelsey's telling all the girls that she's really excited about this bottle that she wants to share with Peter. She's put it over near a fireplace, and she's leaving it there. Meanwhile, the different girls, McKenna being one of them, steals them away. Apparently, I guess they had talked, or maybe they didn't talk.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they didn't talk. Anyway, so she's just biding her time to get Peter alone so they can have that moment, to get that bottle of Dom open and share a moment with one another.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to her, as she's talking to the other gals, she hears a pop. And then I think she knows what that noise is. It's familiar to her.
That's one of two things. That's either Maddie and Pete back there, or that's that bottle of Dom she brought.
Maddie, because of her, Cherry.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't pop like that. I mean, come on.
Look, Nick, I've never had sex with a virgin, but I would suspect.
Yeah.
What?
You don't hear the cherry pop like that. I know.
Could be right, could be wrong. Okay, so let's talk about the pop really quickly. Obviously, it's Hannah Ann who sits down and pops the bottle. Who else would it be? I don't think that she did know, but if anyone was to find out and do that, it would be that bitch Hannah Ann. But let's talk about the pop. So when she hears the pop, she shatters emotionally. And all of the girls look at her like, oh, fuck. We're going to get to her and Peter in a second, but this whole thing's got Svengali written all over it. Big black Sharpie.
There's no way, Dylan. I want to know in what context are you saying Svengali?
Hey, guys, there's some champagne over there for you.
Ow.
Okay. We thought you were talking about Hannah Ann.
Well,
I am talking about Hannah Ann or Peter. Someone said, hey, guys, there's champagne
Who's the
over there.
producers?
well, no, I understand
Svengalis.
that. But when we're talking about puppet masters, I thought like
Puppet masters.
How do we get Kelsey all wound up?
I don't know what part we're arguing about it, but one big question of the night was, did Hannah Ann know? Did she not know? I don't put it past her if she would have known to do it intentionally.
Right.
But we're talking about good acting. If she did know, she looked very surprised when Tammy gave her this info and what had went down.
Yeah.
I do not think she did it.
I don't think she did
she's a nice girl and she's like a sweetheart.
No.
But I don't think this part was intentional.
Yeah. No, she's a fucking succubus, but she didn't know about
Well,
that.
hold
Yeah.
on. You guys are leaving out another detail here. when Hannah Ann was defending her position with Kelsey, she said, look, there are stations of bottles.
There's 2 stations with champagne.
Yes. And I'm supposed to know where.
Yeah, the whole thing was fucking insane.
Made sense to me. Kelsey, you're a psychopath.
Yeah,
Hannah
so
Ann.
Kelsey flies well over the cuckoo's nest here. She half screams at Hannah, you know what you did, cries some more, then knocks over another bucket of champagne.
Then she grabbed a Native American to break her out of a mental institution.
And then she takes a money shot of cheap brute foam straight to the face.
Okay.
Let's have a drink. Let's do that. All right?
Okay.
I don't like seeing you hurt like this, okay? You ready?
You know how to do it?
There we go. Okay. That had some speed on it. Look at that.
See?
That's my girl.
Thank
We
you.
drink it from the bottle or from the cup? From glasses.
We can drink from the bottom.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a classy bitch all the time, so
There we
it's
go.
fine.
All right, show me what you
All
got.
right, I get.
Oh. Are you okay?
What?
What the hell? Are you okay? I'm so...
Well,
Oh, no.
I'm over it. Are you okay?
There's a lot to dig in here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Nick, would you like to start? You and I were very excited about this.
We both have a point to make off her reaction to this. I would love to hear yours first.
Okay. Now, what Kelsey shows here is who she really is, which is when the chips are down and you take a swig off a bottle of champagne and it looks like some dude just took a huge load on your face.
Okay.
What you do is you react in a way of anger and that you're mad at the situation and everyone in the room needs to pay. She could have handled this so much better by just going, laugh about it and go like, oh, this is my second moment of the night. I am so embarrassed. And then he would have wiped that champagne off her face. She would have put her hand on his cheek. They would have started kissing and bonding over this. Instead, she turned into a complete bitch. And she's like, I'm embarrassed. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
He was not like Kelly Dodd.
We've done it again. This is a segment that we've done many times before, but I never gave a name to it. Pat and Nick agreed, but Pat says it way more crass than Nick would have.
Yeah.
This was a perfect opportunity for this woman to laugh this off and them to have like a hilarious, memorable moment that they would talk about for the rest of their lives. Imagine this in a montage when he's about to propose to her or after or what have you.
Yeah.
Like it goes all over her face. He would have got her a bottle of champagne. She would have got him a bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
It could have been so cute. Instead, she has a meltdown and she starts trying to assassinate people's character and it sickened me. She's a weak person. She needs 2 books, 48 Laws of Power, Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership, and I wish her the
would
best.
also recommend Jenny Slate's Little Weirds. I think she could find a lot of inspiration in the prose there.
And also, just it's nice to laugh once in a
Deep
while.
cut.
The 2 books I recommended, not funny at all. Jenny's very
Hey,
clever.
let me I'll recommend something for Kelsey. Kelsey, it ain't going to work out with this guy, okay?
Zoloft!
What you need to do, that, maybe mix with some Xannies or something.
Yeah.
But I'll
Nice
say,
cocktail,
Kelsey,
strong
get
cocktail.
back to wherever you're going. You're a very attractive gal. Go marry a plastic surgeon. Crap out a bunch of kids.
No, you're being unlikable again.
No, this is the truth. I live in LA. I see these ladies driving around. They're very, very mean. Go get yours. Crap out a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Put on your yoga pants. Tell everybody how busy you are, but you're at coffee shops all day long and having coffee dates with fellow.
Can I say something really quickly?
You like Kelsey?
I don't like Kelsey. I feel so bad for Kelsey. I just feel really, really bad for Kelsey. I think that she's mentally unstable, and I don't think that she's as malicious as you guys think she is. I think it's just kind of sad and pathetic. I think Hannah Ann is malicious. I think Hannah Ann is mean.
I don't think Kelsey is malicious. I think she's weak
Yeah, you said that 3 times, and I agree with you.
because of coddling.
Okay.
And she needs to understand that she's in the real world. She's got to be a little bit more thick-skinned.
Okay. I don't,
Nick, I like that take, and I'll
definitely
tell you
isn't
why.
the real world, but
She definitely had a dad that loved her too much.
Okay.
Definitely came from money. And one of, again, this is one of her Achilles heels, is she was probably attractive her entire life, which means she never had to work for anything. Everyone always thought she was hot. Now she's coming into a competitive environment, and that's why she's losing her shit.
okay.
It's the same reason I've struggled so bad.
Okay, so now we can move on, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got some roses to hand out. You know what that means. Pat,
Yeah, Dill?
I think we need a roll call.
Oh, you guys want a roll call?
I know I do. I don't know about you.
It's my favorite part of our shows.
Okay. Now take it easy. You got a lot of girls, so don't blow your load in the first 5, okay? Because then you start stuttering and you make no sense.
All right, I'm going to do the roll call. Hold on, let me look over my notes. All right, you guys want a roll call?
Yeah.
Yeah, give us one.
Roll call! Hit the music, you sons of bitches. You guys have really slighted me the last 3 years. All right, here we go. McKenna! If one of the Olsen twins was attractive, this would be her. Victoria P. Looking hot, great in bed, mainly because of her traumatic past. To Natasha, repetitive complainer, no one likes that. Jasmine, hot Asian. That's all I got for now. Sarah, someone who's cute, and by that I mean someone's cute girlfriend, not a serious competitor. Lexi, mediocre redheads, same thing. Hannah, and still can't decide if you should be implicated in Champagne Gate. Alexa, banging body. Tammy, you're the waffling Asian. Olea, still no way for me. Deandra, very attractive. Victoria F, nothing to say yet. Cheyenne, your hair is dry. I'm fearful. I'm seriously fearful of down power line. No, that's a real concern. Okay. All right. Kira, another tragic hairdo. Savannah, whatever. Kelsey, you're still here. You're definitely a producer pick. He wants to get rid of you, but you're going to create some drama.
The only bone I'd pick is I don't know that McKenna is an attractive Olsen twin.
I grew up really loving the Olsen twins. I think if we looked at our ages, I bet they're probably about 33 right now. I was 31, so like she's 7, I'm 5. I'm like, I love this girl. And we grow up together. They get hot. They get weird. I've seen every iteration of it.
Yeah.
I agree with Pat. This is like if they never got super weird looking.
Yeah, funny story. We'll talk about bullying later, and I don't mean to name drop, but I did go to a pretty, pretentious high school wherein the Olsen twins did attend, and they once made
Campbell Hall.
Yeah, they once made fun of me for no reason for having really long socks. I was trying to find my fashion self, and my socks were pretty high, but they really did kind of just like poke at me and make fun of me, and then the 4 people around them started laughing at me. I was a freshman, and I think I went to the student store, got a double chocolate chip muffin with cream cheese, and it's been a battle with weight ever since, really.
I love that story because like you still have not allowed like social norms to like dictate what you're gonna wear in front of people. You have your own style.
Yeah,
and,
I do have my own
you rock
style.
it. So fuck you, Mary Kate. Fuck you, Ashley.
All right, let's get to the next morning.
Oh, you don't want to know who went home?
Oh, sure.
Oh, I do. Roll call.
Well, I don't really have that. The only one I cared about was Lauren. Broke my heart, the NBA dancer.
Michael Jackson?
I don't care about the others.
Peyton and Courtney. Courtney I actually thought was gonna go a little bit further.
Oh, that was my wild card. The girl that works at Sephora.
You mean Mac?
Yeah.
Back to us.
All right, let's get to the next morning.
Next morning.
Pat, we're gonna need another roll call. We got a group date card.
It's a date card. All right. So look, not a lot of time has passed, so I don't have a lot to say about what these ladies. Here's on the date card. Alexa, although she has a great ass. McKenna, Natasha, Deandra, Lexi, Victoria F, Kelsey, and Hannah.
So when you say you didn't have a lot for the girls, you just have Alexa, great ass, and then the rest of their names.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
If you saw this episode,
12 knots. No, 4 knots.
Okay.
So, date card said, funny enough, time to let your personality shine. Let's get to Revolve.
And it's based on looks.
Can I say something here?
It's a podcast. So you're welcome.
Oh,
to.
right. Let me break down the 2 the ideas that these producers came up with for their first 2 group dates. The first one, which we didn't get to see, was write a story about fucking somebody that an audience is going to hear.
Yeah.
And this one is we get to see you get basically naked, and then we get to judge your body.
Yeah, you want to call us misogynistic? Let's talk about the source material. This is absolutely insane, and also insane that they keep saying we want to see personality. Okay? We'll get to it. Did you guys shit when you saw that they were in Revolve?
My wife did.
They go to this boutique, which I'm sure is a great store. Nick, who do we have greeting the girls?
We've got 3 of just some of the biggest icons in the fashion industry. First of all, we got one of the first members of Queer Eye's Fab Five, Carson Kressley.
Yep.
We've got the chief brand officer of Revolve.
Yeah.
Risa Girona.
Yep.
My Girona.
Okay.
And of course, we have Janice Dickinson, who, as we all...
Oh my God. Pat, you have to turn that sound off.
It's terrifying.
That was so alarming.
I'm sorry.
Pat, turn the fucking violins off. The psycho shriek? You don't give us a heads up?
I don't know.
Holy shit.
I saw him looking for it earlier, and I didn't know it was in reference to. I didn't know it was the punchline of my thing.
Yeah. You had a joke that probably shit on, right?
Yeah. And third, keep it all in. We've got Janice Dickinson, who, as we all know, is so famous.
Patrick!
For being on season 4 of Celebrity Rehab.
I love JD. I really, really do. She was so fire on Top Model. Like, I watched the show for the show, but Janice Dickinson was just a phenomenal part of it. Yes?
And it's kind of weird that you shit all over, like, them trying to show personality. Normally, I would think, oh, that's just rhetoric of the industry. You don't become the first supermodel without knowing how to add a little bit. It's more than looks. It's an attitude, Dylan.
Okay. She's a figurehead, okay? First supermodel is just about as empty can get, you know? Janice Dickinson, the first supermodel. What was Marilyn Monroe? What was Audrey Hepburn? What was Cleopatra, you know?
Regular models.
Okay. So...
Hey, can I give my beef with her?
Yeah, sure.
So she spent the greater part of the 70s and early 80s getting loads dropped on her by celebrities.
Hey, you've said that
stars.
twice tonight.
All right, fine. That doesn't change the fact that Janice Dickinson spent the bulk of the 70s and 80s getting loads dropped on her. Then the bitch went out and wrote a book about it. Like, who kisses and tells like that? Like, you gotta, like, out everybody. She's like, oh, I slept with Huey Lewis. He had a big dick. Oh, I slept with this guy. It's like, hey, just because you're gonna make some money selling a fucking book doesn't mean these guys are still married to their wives, even though their wives probably know some stuff was going on. They don't need to read it in a
Pat,
book.
can we now move on to The Bachelor?
Fine.
The girls are told that they will be doing a fashion show in order to show off their personality. The person who shows off their personality the best will win 40 bags of Revolve.
I mean, 40 bags, but even more specifically, it's 40 bags because that's how much it takes to put in everything from Revolve's closet. You're really downplaying this gift, Dylan.
So, let's talk about Victoria F. Poor Victoria F. She's struggling with the process, and my heart breaks for her because she's so beautiful and she's so goofy and she just isn't cut out for this. You have to be too comfortable with being disingenuous to really succeed in these early stages. You have to be too comfortable with being fake.
I'm not doing it, Dylan, but I'm attempting to raise one eyebrow at you.
No, you're just making a very weird face.
Yeah, I'm just contorting my face because I don't think this is what she is doing. I think Pat and I, once again, share each other's thoughts, and I would love to hear how he puts it into words.
Oh, wow, okay.
Well, Nick, I might have to agree with Dylan a little bit, maybe agree with you, which is that I think she's not cut out for this because this environment is too competitive for her. But on her own, she definitely would be a type A personality. Does that help
I
at
definitely don't think so.
Okay, that's not exactly what I thought we were agreeing on. I just think she's way more confident than this, and her her acting bashful is an act that she knows is going to be effective.
Oh, wow. I think that's way cynical.
Nick, I think that's a hot take. Hold on, or a hot take.
No,
Nick,
I don't think that's a hot take.
You and I talked before the show. I didn't know that that's where you're going to go with that, but I like that hot take.
How can you be so naive to this process? You're gonna be.
Once you get in there, like the part where she goes up and she goes, all right, you've had enough of him, and the other girl laughs, and then Peter's like, huh, and then he turns his body to her. There are so many of these weird little bullshit fake interactions between people that so many of the other girls lean into. Hannah Ann is fine with these. They're very, very unique contestants that are just themselves amidst all of the bullshit. I think Maddie or Madison is one of those people that's truly just confident in who she is, and she's going through it. She's not being fake. I think Hannah Ann is playing this game. She's doing it marvelously well, and I do not think that Victoria F is cut out for this.
Although,
I have to move on.
You're right, Nick. Dylan's foolish here. When she does that catwalk, I'm getting ahead of myself, and then chooses to touch him under the chin and stick her tongue down his throat, that little vixen knew exactly what the fuck she was doing.
Okay. I just want to, before we move on, Carson says something that made me so fucking cheesed.
Well, I have a few of his quotes, so let me know if you need them.
Well, I wrote it down because, once again, I got pretty cheesed. He said that they are looking for a man, but that they should be, maybe I don't have this quote down exactly. What did he say about...
Luckily you got Pat here.
What did he say about Kashmir?
Did he say she looks like a really sexy
okay, Pat, thanks for the help.
Kashmir's for life.
He says that boyfriends are not for life. Kashmir is forever. Carson, it's just not. I mean, I've owned plenty of cashmere. It's a very delicate fabric. It's like crack to moths. So cashmere, no, it's not forever, Carson. And I think you know that. I think that was a cheap trick, Carson. And I think you know that.
I don't like gay men with one-liners that I'm pretty sure they've tried out on 500 other people. Here's a couple. He says, she looks like a really sexy Amish person, and everybody cackles to that.
And she was wearing like a Western leather, like it had nothing to do with the Amish.
Here was his second one. This is him referring to a girl that had an outfit that needed a belt. It's like a great meal without salt and pepper. Winner.
A great meal doesn't need salt and pepper.
I agree. I think that's pretty amateur.
All right, can we get...
You should just cut Pat off after right before he says with one-liners.
Okay, so let's get to the catwalk. Can I say, Janice, I love JD, but her expectations are out of control. She says that she's looking for something she's never seen before. They're not models. They're on The Bachelor. But also, this whole thing, too much clapping. It's like a State of the Union speech. There's people are just clapping nonstop. Just wait for everybody to walk and then start clapping, okay? Clap when they all come out.
I'm trying to understand the issues. I'm not trying to hear this partisan banter. I don't want to get into it, but I also hate the clapping at State of the Union.
Okay, so Victoria F dominates. She's feeling very uncomfortable, and this is where you guys say, oh, she's putting on an act. I think she just, I think Victoria does have confidence in the way that she looks because she is very, very beautiful. She's just smoking hot, so I think that she is comfy in the lingerie. But the two of them stand out to the panel, obviously, Victoria and Hannah Ann. They're going to have to go to a walk-off. Now, this is a classic. I mean, anybody who's seen Zoolander knows that a walk-off is just about as intense as it gets in the modeling world. I mean, this is Kawhi's corner 3.
I was waiting for some breakdance fighting.
I don't want to bring up my tumultuous history with Billy Zane. I'm gonna forego that.
Yeah.
Even though it's extremely relevant to what we're talking about right now.
I think this is why I'm so shocked by your decision making, because you'll so often bring up things that mean nothing and shouldn't be said at all. But now you've got something that's so funny.
It's a walk-off. It's a walk-off.
Okay, so I think this is kind of cruel and unusual. One, to put them in the same dress and have them walk at the same time. I mean, spatially, it's mean because there's just not enough room. But also, Hannah's a model. She's not intelligent enough to do anything else with her life at this point. It's not fair to pit her against Victoria. It's just not fair.
There's two things. Oh, okay, I agree with that. It's not fair to pit her against Victoria.
Okay.
But man, you just slid in there, and I don't want to be complicit of this, that she's not intelligent because she models. Is it not intelligent to lean into your greatest strength? She's beautiful and cutthroat. She's going to make it in the modeling world. That's smart to me.
Yeah, it's a certain kind of smart, but you know, I don't necessarily think that she was going to excel in anything but that. I mean, do you think that she would have been a politician or biologist?
I think she'd be a great politician, to be honest.
Oh, you do?
I don't think it takes that much smarts to be a successful politician. I think it takes some of the stuff we're talking about to win in this game.
I think she'd have a tough time.
It's politics as usual.
I think she'd have a tough time getting through a 100-page bill. I don't think she'd do too hot at that, Nick. She's not intelligent.
I don't think some of these figureheads...
She was in fucking Sonic ads when she was 18 rather than going to college. What are we talking about? She's a dumb, malicious human being. I fucking hate Hannah Ann.
Dylan hates confidence.
I don't think that a 23-year-old should have this much confidence because it's borderline narcissistic. No, not even borderline. She stands at the end of that catwalk and soaks in the applause from everyone. Do you think that a 23-year-old should have that much confidence?
Well, Dylan,
it's concerning to me.
Dylan, I'm glad you mentioned that because it's wonderful to see a woman in her full grace taking all this in.
Absolutely.
On the other side of the coin, tonight she looks great. Everything's working out for her. But, you know, there's something that she can't fight, and that's mother time. At some point, she'll be 35, sad, staring in the mirror with a few more wrinkles on that face of hers, and I don't know, probably some drug addiction. You know how breaded it's so fresh on that in that grocery mart aisle? It's got an expiration date on it. You know, it gets old. And then you got to throw it away.
Right. Because that's smart, going into a profession that will reap no rewards in a decade.
Hannah Ann has used her networking to get herself on this show.
Hannah Ann's smart.
Which will give her a future beyond, at least some residual checks that will be coming in long after her beauty is gone.
She's a model, and she's deeply religious. I don't think the IQ is above 100. Okay, so we're done fighting about Hannah Ann?
Just to have it on record that I think she's smarter than you think she is.
Listen, I don't want to sound stupid. I know that it does take a little bit of tact and intelligence to play the kind of game that she's playing. But to call her smart, I think, is an overstatement. Big time.
Cunning.
You did mention that I hate confidence. I don't hate confidence. I think it's beautiful that she has this much confidence, but I don't think it's beautiful that she has this much confidence. She's 23. The world should be beating her down right now, and unfortunately for her, her ego is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because of her family, the way that her friends treat her, and the 40 bags of clothing that she got from Revolve.
She wins.
Yeah. And Victoria is just destroyed. Let's get to the night date.
Night date!
Victoria F. sits down with Peter, and the poor thing, she's just having trouble peacocking to someone she doesn't know at all in front of 4 cameras at any given time, and at least 3 Rachels.
All right, I liked what she said here. This was being real. She said she might not be made out for this, and it's not good for her mental health, which is essentially saying, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Or at least she's putting that on the table.
Okay. Well, I didn't think you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say she's trying to make him beg her to stay.
Well, first off, hold on. I'm just taking all this in that maybe she's a great player here.
This threw me for a loop.
Okay. Well, he can see that she's upset, so he takes her away to get some quote-unquote privacy, which is a corner of the foyer that cameras can get a good shot at. But
I love this. I love this. By the way, is he a master manipulator? Because he's like, what he should have said if he's being real is, hey, that thing in your back, which we can see the mic lobs in their back. It's that little square thing.
Right.
Look like a fucking stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Click that little button off, and then we can talk privately, and that's when the producer will
Well,
come over.
the issue is that I lied earlier. The Mickey's gloves do come off in two different scenarios: when he's beating off and when he needs to beat the shit out of somebody. And he does do that when somebody turns off their mics because it's just not allowed.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
I'm not as upset with Victoria as I am to Kelsey tonight. Both seem pretty emotionally unstable. My problem with it is why they say they're emotionally unstable. All you hear from Kelsey is blaming the quote-unquote snakes, McKenna and Hannah Ann. They did this, they did this. All you hear from Victoria F is,
I don't think I'm ready.
I'm not able to do this. I don't feel confident. She knows it's something that she needs to work on. Kelsey does not.
Right.
Kelsey's going to go back to Iowa pretty confident that she got screwed over, whereas Victoria F is going to start waking up at 4:30, sweating on the ground before she starts her day, like Jocko Willink.
Absolutely. Start your day in the blue, where the world has not yet woken up. So what did I say about McKenna last week? I said she's Iago. Who's she sitting down with? She's going to be that little birdie that's talking to Hannah Ann saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. You're so right. Come on, guys. She's Iago.
I missed it. I feel like it was like if Jafar had a contemporary, though, that he was sitting down with.
Oh, shut up.
Not a pet parrot.
Oh, shut up.
But McKenna's going to be around a while.
Oh, stop it. All right, let's get to Hannah. She says that she's been slighted, so she must talk to Peter. And, you know, I will say, I just feel like I'm going to get so much shit for calling her stupid, even though I wholeheartedly believe that. But this is a fine act of manipulation. Pat, hit us with a clip.
I know it's been a long night, and I know you're dealing with a lot of different personalities, so I want to thank you just for, like, taking the time to, like, talk to me, because I know you're tired. But, yeah, I was up all last night crying. I approached Kelsey last night, and she told me to off. And then I went down to her a second time that evening, and she said I was a bitch, that I was a princess, and just tore me up. My spirit was crushed.
So a couple really smart things, dare I say, she did here. One, she says she was crying all night. Now, we'll talk about whether or not she's lying. There's no way to substantiate this at all. But what it does do, it shows him that she was hurt, but she composed herself enough to be emotional outside of the competition.
Get through the day.
To not detract from anybody else's evening. Now, of course, she's a lying fucking bitch. But this does show him that she was measured enough to keep it out of the gauntlet, okay? Also, she just rather truthfully but tactically colors the incident as bullying, a point of contention, and a word that the producers probably reminded Peter that evening is not okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great breakdown.
Thank you.
I think that's exactly how it went down.
Yeah.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Dylan. Great point about the crying part. It's unverifiable.
Oh, completely.
None of us really believe it, but whatever. We can't prove that.
Right.
But besides that, Kelsey and Hannah both told Peter what happened in their eyes. Neither of them lied. But
I think Kelsey lied way more than Hannah
Big
did.
time.
How did she lie?
Well, first off, let's
My
establish
point is they told it in different ways. They told exactly what happened, but Hannah was able to frame it in a way that made her look like a hero, where Kelsey sounded desperate.
Hold on, Nick. It was very one-sided as far as like shit going sideways. If you remember
The actual event you're talking about.
The actual event was Hannah drinking champagne with Peter, and then when Kelsey cornered her, she did call her a bitch.
Yeah, it was Hannah having no fucking idea what was going on, and then Kelsey getting in her face, calling her a lying snake bitch, and saying, you know what you did.
And fake.
Right.
So when Hannah does, in fact, tell Peter this later on, she's factually true.
Yeah, I don't think Kelsey lied at any point, though. She just framed it in this way that, like, she said Hannah knew what she did. I know she did that, whatever.
There is one great thing that we have here on the production of this podcast. Which is a great producer.
We got tape.
Well, and tape, because you got a great producer. Let's play the tape. This is Kelsey's response to, well, do you want to set this up? Sorry.
No, take it away, great producer.
So it was brought to my attention from Hannah Ann that she feels like you're bullying her, and that you called her a bitch, that you called her a princess, that she's fake, and if that is the case, like, that's not okay with me.
I didn't have a problem with her until she did what she did, and she knew what she did. And I know...
Yeah, but she's telling me that she didn't, so...
And I'm telling you she did. I don't like her. She knows that.
Why?
Because she can turn it on. She's trying to play the victim card. And she acts a certain way to you and a different way in the house. It hurts that, like, she said that. It's just, it's frustrating. Like, I take my character very seriously.
So her saying that you're bullying her, that's not the case?
No. It's just not, it's not fair. I have been bullied before.
All right, so that's the key point here. So Peter starts this conversation of, hey, I think you're treating another one of the little ladies there like shit and you're bullying her.
Are you you're paraphrasing again, right?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to condense things down. I mean, people just heard the clip.
Got it.
And how Kelsey responds is by saying...
These little ladies are getting a little upset. Crazy.
How Kelsey responds is, hey, I'm the one being bullied here. I've been bullied, okay?
Yeah.
Hear my cause.
Right.
I don't think that's a great defense.
No. And I want to talk about bullying here in a sec, but I just feel bad because she's no match for Maleficent. She's just no match for her. Okay, so let's talk about the pathetic game that Kelsey's playing here. The cardinal rule, we've talked about it before. Sorry I touch you. I'm just very, very earnest about this point.
I like it.
We've talked
I
about
have
this.
heard it's when you're trying to lord, like, you're trying to, like, be the alpha. So you
No. Absolutely
So,
not. Absolutely not.
I'll touch you back.
Okay. We've talked about the cardinal rule, the cardinal sin on this show. That is bitching or ratting on another contestant. Now, it only ever works, and I think that this ultimately will not work for Hannah Ann, who has to be the next Bachelorette. Oh, man. Has to. I mean, just, this is what she was born to do. If you wanted to say she was smart, you would say that she's going to be vying for the Bachelorette, which is just what's going to happen. I mean, it has to happen. But anyways, she is in such a better place in this competition that even doing this could not drag her into the danger zone. She's a minus 400 favorite here going up against Kelsey, who just has no fucking shot. That's the only time ratting works.
Well, no duh, because again, she's allowing her to make her own... make a fool of herself and then just comment on it.
And to be honest, I think that's even pretty generous. That means fucking Kelsey's probably about plus 280 on the comeback, and I'm not. No one's touching those odds.
Hey, gentlemen.
You're right. You're 100% right.
She's plus 4. Kelsey's plus 400, and Hannah's probably around minus 650.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the trigger word that is expertly laid out by Miss Hannah Ann here. That is bully. Now, it is really, really fucking embarrassing that Kelsey, through tears, says that by using the word bully, she took it, over the line or whatever. I don't want to sound like a filthy fucking boomer or anything, but bullying is not rape, okay? Everyone gets bullied. Some more than others, and sometimes, yes, it leads to horrible, horrible things, but it's just part of growing up. It's not anything. I don't know why it's become this, like, rallying cry of some first lady. I can't remember. Is it Melania Trump who does the anti-bullying thing? I get it that it's worse for this generation, but can we please not say, oh, she bullied me? That is something that I must not be accused of.
Dylan, I never thought I'd hear this coming out of your mouth. And I believe it's probably not Melania Trump that's saying this, because her husband, I think, makes a living of calling people fat pigs.
No, that's why it's so funny.
Right. Oh, sorry.
But
but that's real life.
And to be honest, I mean, some of this online stuff, I guess it gets a little overboard.
Yeah,
but,
it's sad. It's
but,
sad.
But bullying, I mean, to our society, I mean, if we didn't have bullying, we wouldn't have Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Rudolph. Think about that. No Christmas without bullying.
It's just part of growing up. It's life invariably makes you feel less than. That's what life does. So you need to go through and experience people knocking you down a couple pegs. It's how you get back up. I was once walking across the schoolyard one time, and two boys I'd never met before in my life came up to me, pointed at my face, said he's wearing glasses, and started cackling at me. I'd never met them before. Did I start crying? Yes. But I made it to class, and I wiped my tears away. And I think that I'm a better boy for it.
You know what you got to do, Dylan? You got to flip the script on 'em. You got to find two friends who have glasses and walk past and be like, look at these fucking two eyes over here.
Yeah, and another time I had a cousin, Brandon. He tried to drown me 3 different times in an above-ground swimming pool, in a creek, and then in a foot of snow.
Hey, Dylan, your first story, that wasn't bullying. They were just making fun of you because your glasses made you look like a dork.
Right.
The second one where you had family members trying to drown you,
Yeah.
definitely bullying.
Okay.
Or an effective way to teach someone to swim. Just throw them in the pool.
Well, it was more like holding my head under. I wasn't learning how to any technique other than clawing for my life. But
Yeah, anytime you're holding someone's head underwater, whether it be pool, toilet, that's true bullying. Hey, Kelsey, you ever spent any time in a locker? Hey, Kelsey, you ever spent any time with your underwear up your ass, except from what you bought at Victoria's Secret?
Hey, Kelsey, you ever had your tins twisted where they turned purple 3 days later? That's
Without
fucking
asking?
bullying.
in summation, bullying is not that big of a deal, okay? At least what we grew up with and what Kelsey grew up with. Let's calm the fuck down, okay? Jesus. Kids are mean. People are mean. Don't say, oh, I won't be accused of bullying. You bullied her. You called her a bitch. You called her a snake. You said she knew. You yelled at her. Come on. You bullied her.
I thought you were saying this wasn't bullying.
I'm saying it is bullying, and it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, I don't think
Ow.
it's that bullying.
One time, Sean Kennedy, when I was in the 3rd grade, put a full piece of bubblegum that was chewing its mouth in my hair.
I don't know if this is really bullying. It was kind of a tit for tat. This one time, this kid sat in my seat at lunch. And so then I came back, and he had a tray of nachos, and I smashed his nachos. 4 years later, he kills himself.
All right, that's the end of the episode. We will be back next week. Remember to jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Leave 5 stars if you can. Oh my God, what the fuck am I thinking? It's a fan favorite segment. It's Errors and Omissions, and we got to get to it right now. Hey, Nick, do you want to explain this? Because it's a little heady.
Errors and omissions is places where we erred and things we omitted.
Got it.
Dylan pointed out how the star of last episode, Ann P, was
Ann P.
the cow.
Ashley P.
Whatever.
What do you mean, whatever? You're in the middle of Errors and Omissions.
Great point.
Don't be so flippant. Jesus.
Real quick, error and omission. It was the cow's name was actually Ashley.
Okay.
So Dylan was complaining how malnourished this cow looked. Well, at It's Matthew Lane on Instagram DM'd us at another Bachelor podcast and said that cow was not malnourished. It was a dairy cow, and they don't store as much fat on their bones because of their need to produce milk. I'm embarrassed, being from Wisconsin, the dairy state, that I did not know that, but I didn't.
Can I say something really quickly?
Mm-hmm.
While I did have a certain amount of conviction in saying that the cow looked like it was malnourished, because it just does if you do like a little eye test.
This isn't errors, omissions, and objections, but continue.
There was something in the back of my head that was like, just because you can see every bone doesn't mean it's not healthy. And I knew that. I knew that. And I just trotted it out there. And now look at me.
You're exposed.
Dick in my hand.
Which is alarming right now.
Yeah.
This one's on me. We met a couple of female pilots last week, and one of them I compared to Mrs. Turnbull, the villain.
Trunchable. It's Trunchable.
Trunchbull. But the villain from
Matilda.
the cinematic
Masterclass.
that adopted Roald Dahl's classic Matilda. Yeah, I called her Miss Turnbull. Her name is Mrs. Trunchbull.
Now,
A lot of people are upset by that.
What's the name of the woman that adopts Matilda?
I don't know.
Me neither. I bet Pat does, though.
That one was pointed out by Haley Dawn on Instagram at
Thanks, Haley.
at Jabba the What. Pretty funny little handle there.
Yeah, I like
also
that.
pointed out later by Mary Grove, who
Classic Mary.
we should probably throw out of the group because she was so excited to correct us. She had a whole itemized list.
I'm working
she's
on
a
that.
vet.
I'm making a list.
Nah, she's a vet. We can't throw out Mary. She's...
No one's safe.
No one's safe. Thanks for your contributions. Dylan said that Nair is a wipe and rinse product, but she said, well, that is what Nair is famous for. Nair is really just a brand, and they do, of course, also have a line of waxing products. And that concludes this week's Errors and Omissions.
Who sent that one in?
Mary Grove.
Okay,
This
now-
isn't Errors, Omissions, and Objections.
All right, so
Although I just ended it, so you
Yeah,
know.
I do think that we should probably kick that bitch out. Love you, Mary. So we'll be back next week with more Hot Bachelor Recap Podcast. Remember, jump in the reviews, please. We're trying to get to 1,000 ratings. If you don't have kind words to say, that's fine. Just hit 5 stars and walk away. If you want to leave us 1 star, remember, we have a segment for you people. Email, and I don't mean anything by you people. I just mean you're angry. Email us at nickdavis@anotherBachelorPodcast.com. Guys, that's it for me. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
I'm out of here.